Welcome back to Diary of a Divorced Mom and the Woman She's Becoming. If you have already listened to episode 1, you saw that you met the little boy who made me a mother. You've met my booger. He hates when I call him that, y'all, but he's literally my booger. But you've met my booger, aka Houston, and you all get a sense of what my everyday life looks like because I am dealing with a 13-year-old now, a teenager. Today, I want you to meet me. This episode is called The Day I Realized Healing Isn't Linear. What I've learned is healing isn't linear, literally. So there was a time that I thought one day I would wake up and all the pain will be gone. One day I would wake up and feel amazing. One day I'll wake up and never feel a day of struggle again during my healing journey. I thought that if I went through the healing and I went through therapy and I did the work and find myself that I will no longer cry. I will no longer feel contempt to draw myself closer and closer to God. Like everything would just magically disappear. And I would just be this bubbly, happy, just amazing person in my head, right? And I had to realize that in retrospect, do I feel great? Absolutely. But do I have days where I'm crying again? Absolutely. Do I also have days where I'm struggling? Absolutely. However, the struggles and the pain looks differently. They're not the same because if they are the same, then it's an issue. I am still continuously in therapy. My therapist probably loves me. um, but in all seriousness, though, she has literally walked the journey with me. I get a little emotional because, give me a moment, y'all. She pours into me a lot. There are times where you don't realize your growth and how much you've grown. There's times where you feel stuck or you think that you're stuck. And sometimes you need that reminder to be like, hey, wait a minute. When we started in 2022, this is not the same person. This is not who you were. I started with her in 2022, by the way. I've been in therapy since 2020, but I've started with her 2022, just to clarify. But I have been in therapy for 6 years. And sometimes it's okay too. Like my first therapist, I think I struggled with leaving her because I was just like, maybe it's me, maybe it's me. But sometimes understanding that you may need to rotate a few therapists before you actually find the one that actually speaks to you and resonates with you to a certain extent. That's okay. In between my struggles, I realized that I questioned myself a lot. And questioning myself, it goes to retrospect, just saying, am I doing enough? Am I a good enough mom? Am I a good enough person? Am I an understanding person? Am I a listening person? Am I growing? Has anything changed? So there's so many different pieces when you're healing that you're like thinking to yourself, does this even sound right? Is this okay? Am I doing okay? Or do I still have like some things about me that's just, ugh? Yeah. Yes. Yes to all of it. Yes. Yes, there's still some things about me that are block. Yes, there's still some changes that needs to be made. Yes, there's still some growing that needs to be done. Yes, yes, and yes. I think that for me personally, I don't try to idolize myself as this perfect person in my healing, right? My biggest thing is knowing how I feel. I knew how I felt, and I know how I feel. And that's important. In your healing journey, it's important to really understand your feelings, also interpret those feelings. Also, as the adults that we are, it's okay to say, nope, I am not having a good day. Nope, I need to escape. Nope, this is too much for me right now. Nope, I might say the wrong thing. And that's where growth comes in at, instead of the lash outs, the backlashes, or just the feelings of, and especially a lot as parents, the closest things, unfortunately, is our kids, and you find yourself taking it out on the kids. That's not fair to them. That's not fair to them. A movie that me and the boys really enjoy watching is called, movie that we love is Inside Out. I always tell my kids, like, those different emotions that they show in her head is factual. Like, you have angry, you have depressed, you have sad, you have all of it. It's just everyone goes through the range of emotions, right? But it's all about how you're able to control those ranges or identify those ranges of emotions. I think for me, when you always wonder, like, your progress, what progress am I making, or if I'm making any progress, that's a healthy question. That's a healthy question, because you want to grow. You want to see yourself in a different light. You know the person that you ideally want to become. If there's one thing you take from today's episode, it's this: give yourself permission to heal without rushing the process. Because you missed the life that you thought you had, I want you to know something. Healing isn't measured by bad days. Healing is measured by the fact that you keep getting up. You keep choosing yourself. You keep going for the end goal and the results that you want, the ones that you desire. Thank you guys for spending time with me. And remember, this is the diary of a divorced mom and the woman she's becoming. I'll see you all next episode.